signature moment in the classic Kiss show was Ace Frehley's guitar solo in which his Les Paul would emit smoke, one of the coolest things ever. But how exactly does it work? First, let's hear Ace himself explain it.
I first came up with the idea to do the smoking guitar on our very first tour. And I put smoke bombs inside the little compartment in a Les Paul, and I used to light it with a cigarette lighter, but it ended up screwing up all the volume and tone control.
The smoking guitar evolved over time. He claims he had the idea on the first Kiss tour, but it doesn't show up until sometime in 1975. This first version was very simple. Ace put a smoke bomb in
It worked. Amazing. Put a smoke bomb in it. It worked. Amazing. Tell a technician not to put a smoke bomb in it. It worked. Amazing.
By the Rock and Roll Over tour,
Hello guys. So what I do here on my channel is that I do drawings that has to do with the future, and I recognize this. I recognize what's going on here when it comes to what is what is happening here, you know. So first of all, so Ace Frehley passed away on October 16th, 2025. 4 days before that, I did a drawing about poisonous smoke, and this is his signum. This is his iconic thing. So it's mentioned in Wikipedia that about the smoke. You see the image up here. You see what kind of image is that? Well, it's smoke, you know. It's his smoking guitar, and as he said, he came up with it on his first tour, right? Oh, I didn't fix my hair. So it doesn't look different. So anyhow, guys. So what's going on here is so let's just quickly try to let's get somewhere, okay? So what I'm doing here is that I'm drawing the smoke thing, because this drawing is called Poisonous Smoke and Rubble. If you look down here, this is one of his things, an accident, the smoke bomb. So it has to do with smoke bomb, right? Keyword bomb, keyword smoke. Do you get it? So look down here, and this is a really famous person, right? Look down here, you see a little accident, okay? So it ignited too early and melted asbestos, you see? And what is asbestos? It is poisonous. So you have you have poisonous smoke here. Like you have asbestos, you have smoke, and this is his and so what you see here is, first of all, like, remember this video that I did earlier. I'm not going to mention what that is about because I think it's sensitive. Maybe it doesn't matter, because what I do here is so sensitive. Like, actually, it's really sensitive what I'm doing. So it's like what I do are drawings. So you can see in this case the drawing became the crack in the windshield in this previous video, okay? And you can look back at that, and I said, when I did this drawing, I said that it was because of this thing here that I mean, I explain it in that video. So what's going on is a theme. It's a theme of smoke, and what I was drawing was poisonous smoke, and that has to do with the theme. Okay, I'll try to make this video better. Sorry. Okay, I've done many videos about nuclear, right? Nuclear, the nuclear keyword, okay, lately, and I'm not just rambling here. Like, even if, I mean, maybe this presentation isn't that good, but I'll try to make it better. So here you see that theme. You see the same theme as earlier that I'm doing. So you see smoke bomb, you see asbestos, which is poisonous, and you see this is his thing, like the smoke is his thing. So, or like, let's say that you're doubting me in what I do. Like, let's say that you are you want to think critically about this situation here, about what I'm doing here. Well, what just happened here is perfect for my presentation. You have to think about that, oh, I'm again able to do a good presentation, or good, right? A good presentation about something that happened in the world stage. And how does that work? I'll make myself a bit larger because yeah, okay. So how does it work? Well, first of all the details I'm not going to talk about, because it's not admitted what I do, and it's basically, yeah, you know, sadly a bit of an antagonistic environment. The point is that, you know, I do this drawing of the smoke. Now we have it here, and let me tell you, like, where are we in this process right now? Because this is a process of going towards this, okay, as I see it. We're going there, okay. That's what I was drawing, right? It's my drawing. So but now we have this, right? What is this? This is feelings. This is sorrow. This is the feelings of millions of people having what does people feel about this? Well, they want him. They want him back. But what do they want? They want the smoke. They want his smoke. People has feelings. People have feelings that they. So this is how it works. Okay, this is part of it. It's like it's an orchestra. Everything is working together here, and it's always like this. This is not like if you look back to September 7th, I'm making a drawing of of that murder scene of Charlie Kirk. I made a drawing of it before it happened. Now we're here, okay, and it's always the same process. It's always the same things happening every single time. It is the same thing. It is the same mechanics, okay. So the mechanics is like this. Also, you have to remember, what is my background? I studied physics. Okay, my background is engineering, physics. So so what's happening here is something that I recognize, and it is something that has to do with people's feelings that is now fueling all of this. Millions of people want the smoke. They want, when they see this, they want it. And this is driving all of this. It's just how I'm trying to be pedagogical and talk to you what's happening here. And this will is going to make this like evolve. And this is always how it is. This is how it works. So, and I'm super familiar with this, and probably some of my subscribers are also familiar with this. And what I'm doing here is expression of my consciousness. I exist. I am. And what I do is that I use my I amness to make a drawing. And it is this intense. This is how it is. And it's quite often like this. For example, as I said, Charlie Kirk drawing, or I mean, it was called another thing. I'm still sure that. So when it came to that drawing, it also had connections to things that had to do with traffic. It was also literal. This one also, like, it has both a literal and a metaphorical expression. So you can see here, right? This one was super obvious. I made the drawing because of, I mean, I had him, Hegseth, in the same video as when I was doing the drawing. You can see a photograph of him in it, like or I believe so, at least. Maybe I'm overinterpreting, I'm not sure. Wait, let me quickly check that for myself so that I remember correctly. Let's see. Where is it? Okay, here it is. Let me check. Yeah, he is actually on a photograph right in the beginning of the video. I believe it's him. Yeah, I just didn't know that he was on that. I didn't think about it, but yeah, he's indeed there. He is. And in an article. Anyhow, guys, the whole point in what I'm doing here is that I'm reaching out to you. It's like I kind of evolved or something, okay? And I'm just trying to reach out to people to you know, because that's what people do, like, that's human, right? And there is a significant risk in me doing this. There is a risk of invalidating consciousness also, that consciousness is deemed to not exist. Like, I am communicating something that is true, valid, and I see a risk of my evolution here to kind of cripple everything else. Or, I mean, maybe that's the wrong word, but I see it like imagine that there is an outside observer looking at what's happening here, and it doesn't look good, right? The fact that I'm doing these videos, I'm painting the future here, and the fact that there is no, how do you say, no conversation of significance here. In fact, what I'm doing here, every single time like this, there's no one else that's doing that. And so, yeah, it needs to be admitted that I do that. Or alternatively, you do the same. I'm actually, what I'm doing here is that I'm not looking at myself and just looking at my own mirror image and just being arrogant about myself here. No, it's not that I could look at patterns around my own ego stuff. I could do that and look at that, my mirror here, and tell you, look at me, look how I look how beautiful I am, you know. I could do like that, but I don't do that. I could, okay, but I don't. Instead, I do something. I do a drawing, and I show that I am. And I'm telling you, no matter, it's a serious thing that I'm doing here in regards to everyone else also, that when it comes to my logic here, my thinking, there is a risk of invalidation of consciousness here, seriously. And people need to think about that and quit this silliness. It's silly the way that there is this opposition. Because I've been doing this for a long time, right? As I said, September 7th, the drawing, 3 days or 4 days before the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And I made that scene, I made a drawing of that, where it became that. The drawing is called Scary Traffic. And if you think back to JFK, he was in a car, right? A car. You see, there is an interconnectivity there also. He was in the back seat of a car, right? And so there it connects in many ways. It's a very serious situation. Maybe you think that you are millions, you are billions, and that's so many, you know. But the problem is that for an outside observer, this is, I think this is insignificant. The point of life is to grow from a seed of being tiny, and yeah. And this way that life works is it is like that life is supposed to be within a limited space. You can see that also in the etymology of paradise, which comes from walled garden, a garden with walls. There is a point of walls, there is a point of a limited space. Okay, this is the same idea with a seed, having a limited space, very small. And so the fallacy here is that people think about how many they are. This is insignificant. So I'm really trying to reach out here, and the fact that I'm right again and again. It's not that it's this situation of being right. It's not that I don't enjoy that, because it is, yeah. But that's how it is. That's how it seems to be, at least when I'm doing these drawings. And so I did this 4 days before his death. And yes, as I always say, if I wouldn't have made this drawing here, then this wouldn't evolve, maybe. What happens, so as someone that is able to draw things that predict the future, I'm also making the argument that in fact I'm not predicting the future. And you have to know that when I say like that, if it wasn't true what I'm saying, I'm really being disrespectful to a potential third person giving me the truth, just like that. What I do is that I find, I perceive, I filter, I see through the disorder, and I realize what I should do. So yeah, let me quickly repeat. Ace Frehley, he's super famous, one of the founders of Kiss, and his signum is that he's really good at guitar, but also that he has smoke coming out, and this is indicative of my drawing. It resonates and it makes people feel. They feel that they love him. People love him. They love smoke, his smoke. They love how he is. And look down here. He had a time when the smoke bomb ignited too early and melted asbestos, which is poisonous. In other words, poisonous smoke. Going there to my drawing with the name Poisonous Smoke and Rubble. And this is sort of like we're in the phase of building up momentum for a kind of chemical reaction in reality. This is the mechanics of what's happening. And it's the same every time. I know how this works. I've seen it so many times that it is, yeah, I've seen it so many times. So I'm able to do a scientific process of making a drawing because I'm so good at this. I'm not even I'm not I'm not kidding, it's really how it is. And you need to know that what I'm doing here is really hard to do. When I express my consciousness like this, I express my I amness, it's really hard to respond to that. It's like I trained in secret, but in reality, no one was listening. No one listened. No one cared. I mean, I'm not going to be sad about that. I'm just telling you how it is. It's if one person evolves and others don't, it's because of a reason that it is like that. And I also want to remind you about how I this is also how I define intelligence. Let me explain. This is not about arrogance. So intelligence or what is the reason for developing intelligence for an organism? Well, the organism needs to predict. So first, an organism is developing its body. It gets larger, and it will develop eyes to see and censoring the organism. And with this sensing, it must predict, so that if it comes something to eat it, it will go away from that place, or if it's trying to grab something else, it is able to predict its movement. So especially when it comes to animals, organism, it needs to predict. The action of prediction in itself is this primordial intelligence that I am doing here. And I try to explain it most often when it comes to IQ, or IQ is correlated with low violence, right? If you look at countries with high intelligence, they are low in violence, low in crime, I think, at least. Yeah, I mean, I look at this some time back. But this intelligence is different because it is like it is. I've said that this is kind of an aggressive intelligence, like you're saying here. Like what I'm doing here, it is aggressive, but it's not wrong in any way. Like, or I mean, I'm not doing any sin here. I'm not breaking any sin here. I'm not sinning, like in the Bible. No, I'm doing a drawing, and that's all. A drawing of poisonous smoke. We see the smoke. His signum is the smoke, and I can draw these things with confidence, and that's a really hard thing to do. That's why I say, like, good luck to do the same. But honestly, it would be cool if people could. But there is another kind of like, there is another variant, and that is synchronicity, right? That you do something and you notice that, wow, there is a magic here, like there is a synchronicity, a unity in things, right? And you notice that. But what I do here is different. I produce synchronicities. I make them happen. Do you get it? So, and I remind you that if it wouldn't be the case, I would really anger someone now. Some entity would be angry of what I'm saying here if it wasn't true. I'm telling you, this is for someone doing what I'm doing here. I'm telling you, it's like this drawing here. It's doing something. It is like something is happening. Do you get it? I'm trying to explain it to you. So it's yeah. So yeah, it's doing something, but at the same time there is a wholeness, a unity of everything, where everything is working together and so on. But the point here right now is that I show evidence between I do something and then something happens. And it really seems like a trigger. It really seems like that. And I would say that it is, right? As I said, yeah, it is like that. So yeah, all that I'm doing here is trying to communicate, yeah, with my consciousness, my thinking, my rationality, my like the logic, my feelings, my sensitivity, or yeah, all of these things. And it doesn't go, like, the communication isn't really reaching because it is uncomfortable, because yes, people pass away and it has a connection to what I do. It's always been like that. Yeah. So that's how it is. So I think I'll end this video now. So people are probably going to, I'll just say at the end now, my comment here will act as further erosion to consciousness, sadly, because I need to do that like that to respect myself. And so when other people talk about this, decoders, they will probably not talk about the smoking guitar. Because even if it's right in your face, the smoking guitar is right on the Wikipedia page. But I'm telling you that no, I don't think decoders will talk about this. I don't think the people that is supposed to look into these things, I don't think that they will talk about this. And the reason why they don't is because, I don't know, is it Agent Smith of the Matrix thing going on? I don't know. But what I know is that when they don't talk about it, the consciousness, I believe that sadly it is eroding. And why is it like that? Well, because it's obvious, it's in your face, and it has to do with the truth. If it truly is like this that I'm showing again and again and again, then why not admit it? Why not, right? But maybe that's the point. Do not admit what I do. Do not encourage me. Even if I would like encouragement, I don't see it happening, right? So what I'm going to tell you is that consciousness is eroding, and this is dangerous. Maybe you think that I'm a single being, I'm weak, and you are billions, right? Because I don't think that an elite is solely responsible for this situation here of censoring, self-censoring. So truly, it's a fallacy to think that a billion people can oppose one person. It's a fallacy. It goes against life. Life grows from a tiny seed. A tiny thing can become a big thing, right? And sadly, here I am. I'm doing things that shouldn't be possible. And yeah. But, you know, something happened. I am able to do this again and again. And, you know, yeah. And I mean, I get it. If I wouldn't do what I do here, then there wouldn't be any like, it would be so easy for everyone, because you wouldn't need to think about this, that consciousness is under attack. I am in fact invalidating consciousness when I do this. I'm proving that consciousness doesn't exist, something like that. And that is an attack. And it's serious. So please get it together and think about this, what's happening, like this situation and all of this. How can it be like, why is this so perfect to my painting? Why is that happening? And also, no one can do a scientific, like, have you seen anyone do what I do here? A continuous drawing phenomena of affecting the top of the world stage. No, you haven't. Because if you would have seen it, we would have another kind of world. If you would have seen that. So yeah, this is serious, and you have to realize that. So yeah. See you guys another time.